We've all seen it in a young artist filled with hope and ambition, pouring their soul into a piece of music, only to have it torn apart by critics who don't understand the story behind it. It's a cruel reality in the entertainment industry. But sometimes, when the world turns against you, someone steps in, someone unexpected. This is the story of Day, a young rapper from Chicago whose breakout track was met with unjust criticism. And the surprising person who came to his defense? None other than Kanye West. It was a cold Thursday morning when Day first saw the news. He had just woken up in his small apartment, the kind of place where you can hear the city's pulse through the thin walls. The smell of old coffee lingered in the air as he stumbled into his living room, rubbing his eyes. His phone buzzed constantly. Text messages from his friends, alerts from his manager, and notifications from social media. He'd been watching his career grow steadily for the past few months. His latest song, Broken Mirrors, had been his most personal one yet. He'd poured his heart into every lyric, every beat. It wasn't just a song, it was his story. The tale of a young man trying to escape the shadows of a violent neighborhood, the struggles of a broken family, and the scars left by his past. For Day, it was the defining moment of his musical journey. But when he opened his phone, everything changed. The media had already latched onto it. Blogs, influencers, and music critics alike were tearing into him. Headlines screamed about how he had sold out and misrepresented the struggle. Critics were questioning his authenticity, accusing him of pandering to a market that didn't know his pain. One critic even went as far as to claim, Day is just another puppet in a system designed to dilute real hip-hop. His heart sank. The words hit harder than any punch he had ever taken. Day sat there staring at the screen. He could feel the sting of rejection, but what hurt the most was how wrong they were. He had lived those struggles. He wasn't just rapping about it for attention. He was telling the truth about his life, his journey. But the world had decided to label him a fraud, and the weight of it was unbearable. As he scrolled through the backlash, his phone rang. It was his manager, Jay. Day, you see what's happening? Jay's voice was frantic, but there was an underlying calm in it. He had always been the level-headed one in their team. Yeah, man, Day replied, his voice quiet, distant. I don't know what to do. They're tearing me apart. They don't even know me. Jay sighed. Listen, don't let this get to you. We'll talk to the label and get ahead of this. Maybe drop a response, clear the air. But Day wasn't sure if a simple statement would be enough. How do you explain your truth when the world doesn't want to hear it? And then, just as he was about to reply, he heard a voice from the other side of the room. His roommate Malik had been quietly watching the TV from the corner, but now he stood up, eyes wide. Yo, Day, look at this. Malik handed him the remote, flipping to a news segment. The screen showed a popular news outlet, one that Day knew would only air the loudest opinions. And there, on the screen, was Kanye West. His face, usually enigmatic and distant, looked serious. He wasn't there to promote an album or make another cryptic statement. No, this was different. He was talking about Day. Day's song Broken Mirrors? Kanye said, his voice deep and steady, I listened to it and I don't get it. People are calling him fake. They're calling him a sellout. But they don't understand. They never will. That song is real. The kid's living what he's rapping about, whether you like it or not. If you don't understand it, then that's on you, not him. Day's heart skipped a beat. Kanye West, the man who had been through his own battles with critics and the public, was defending him. For a moment, Day felt like the weight of the world had lifted off his shoulders. But the disbelief lingered. Kanye wasn't done. The camera zoomed in as he continued, I've been there. I've been told I was too this or too that. People are trying to box me into something I'm not. But you know what? I made my own lane. And that's what Day is doing. He's breaking through the noise and staying true to his story. And if you don't get it, maybe it's time you take a look at yourself. This is what hip-hop is about, authenticity. And Day's got that. The words hit like a thunderclap. Kanye West, someone Day had looked up to for years, was not only acknowledging his pain but elevating it. He wasn't just defending him. He was validating his entire journey. The criticism from others felt small now. Kanye had seen the heart behind the song, and that was all that mattered. But the shock didn't stop there. Within hours, social media exploded. Fans of Kanye flooded the internet with support for Day. Kanye knows what's up, one tweet read. Finally, someone who gets it, another echoed. People who had previously joined in on the criticism began to reconsider their stance. Day wasn't just another rapper pretending to be something he wasn't. He was the real deal, and Kanye had just confirmed it. The news outlets began to pick up the story. The narrative had shifted. Where there had been doubt, now there was curiosity. People wanted to hear the song for themselves. They wanted to understand why Kanye was so passionate about defending Day. Critics who had been relentless in their attacks started to soften their tone. Some even admitted they may have been too harsh. It was like a wave of understanding had swept through the industry, and it all started with Kanye's words. Days passed, but Day was still in disbelief. He hadn't expected this. He hadn't even thought about the possibility of Kanye coming to his aid. But here he was, thrust into the spotlight, not as a victim of criticism, but as a young artist with a voice that was being heard. But with this newfound attention came new pressures. The spotlight was brighter now, and Day wasn't sure he was ready for it. He had always kept a low profile, focusing on his music rather than the fame that came with it. But now, with Kanye's endorsement, the world was watching. Every move he made, every word he spoke was being analyzed. He wasn't just any rapper now. He was the rapper Kanye West had put his weight behind. And that, in itself, was a blessing and a curse. One afternoon, Day sat in his studio, the familiar hum of the equipment surrounding him. He was trying to write, to create something new. But his mind was elsewhere. It wasn't just the pressure of the spotlight. It was the realization that this moment, this opportunity could change everything. But what if he failed? What if he couldn't live up to the expectations now that Kanye had placed his trust in him? As he sat there, his phone buzzed again. This time it was a direct message from Kanye himself. Yo Day, keep pushing. Ignore the noise. You've got something real. Just don't let anyone take that from you. Day stared at the message, his fingers hovering over the screen. Kanye wasn't just offering words of support. He was offering a lifeline. A reminder that his journey, his truth, mattered. The pressure was still there, but now it felt different. It wasn't a burden, it was a challenge. And he was ready to face it. That night, Day took to social media. With Kanye's words in his mind, he posted a message of his own. I've been through the struggle. I've lived the pain. And I'll keep speaking my truth, no matter who tries to silence me. Thank you to everyone who's supporting me. And to the critics, I see you. But I'm not backing down. The response was overwhelming. Fans flooded his comments, offering their support, while critics took a step back, many admitting they had misjudged him. But it wasn't the praise that mattered today. It was the fact that, for the first time in his life, he felt seen. He felt heard. And it wasn't just because of Kanye. It was because he had stayed true to himself. In the weeks that followed, Day's career skyrocketed. His music gained new listeners, and the respect of his peers in the industry grew. But none of this would have been possible if it hadn't been for Kanye's unexpected defense. Kanye had done more than just defend him against unfair criticism. He had shown Day what it truly meant to be authentic in a world that often demanded conformity. Day wasn't just a rapper anymore. He was a symbol. A symbol of resilience, of staying true to your story, and of the power of one person believing in you when the world tries to tear you down. And in that moment, as Day looked out at his growing fan base and listened to the stories of others who found strength in his music, he realized something profound. It wasn't just Kanye who had changed his life. It was his own willingness to stand up, to speak his truth, and to keep moving forward. The world may try to label you, criticize you, or doubt you, but it's the ones who believe in themselves and in the power of their own story who truly break through. Kanye had given him the platform, but Day had earned his place there. And with that, the journey continued.